old souls, young souls, and all my damn souls in between. Welcome back to another week of Old Soul in the Young World with your host, Jesse Ellie. Hey! Okay. All right, you need to calm down, bottle. What up, everybody? We back here for another week of Old Soul. We have a very special guest on the show this week. Somebody who is super influential in the Boston scene, in the music scene, in the DJ scene, the Red Sox official DJ. Excuse me if you haven't heard, you already know. We have Mr. Maverik. What's poppin', Mav?
Yeah.
Hey!
Oh shit! You got the year.
What's going on? How are you?
I'm good. So glad to be here. Thank you.
So happy to have you.
For the invite.
Definitely. We got some big things to talk about. Big things going on. You know, we got champagne all over the place right now. It's a vibe.
Yeah.
It's definitely a vibe today.
Definitely.
But you know, so anybody who doesn't know Mav, who hasn't heard of this amazing, influential person in the Boston scene, I just want to let you guys know that he has a lot going on. Fresh music out recently. You know, been in broadcasting communication since, I think that video I aged you on was like 13 years ago.
Oh no. You digging in the archives?
I am.
Are you creeping on me?
I was creeping just a bit. Like, you know, classy creeping. You feel me?
Yeah. That's cool.
But I want to give you a chance, you know, just to let the people know actually who you are.
Yeah.
You know, where you come from, what you're doing, and all that good stuff.
Well, my name is Maverik. Some people call me Money Mav. I'm just a kid from Boston who's, you know, following his dreams just every day. Honestly, it all started with a genuine love of music. So that's kind of, you know, what I've dedicated my whole life and everything that I do. I just try and thank you. Just, man, anything that's music related, that's me. I'm in there.
He's a creative soul. It sounds like.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But
multi-talented.
Exactly. So, I guess grew up in Malden.
Malden.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, first of all, Dorchester,
Yeah.
Malden, Jamaica. Grandparents raised me for a little while, while my mom was in school and stuff like that. So definitely strong Caribbean roots, strong Jamaican roots.
Mm-hmm.
I always gotta big up my Jamaicans.
Hey, you know?
Yes. Look awesome shots.
Hey. Shots fired in a good way.
Yes. All good shots.
Always
shots.
positive.
Yeah. But that's where I'm coming from.
That's dope.
I just try and be a good person along the way too. That goes a long way.
That's what we love to hear on the show.
For sure.
You know, and anybody tuning in, that is part of the main reason I wanted to have Mav on the show. You know, we're all about inspiring here on Also Young World. Inspiration, motivation, keeping going no matter what roadblocks or what comes in your way. It's like we all have our downfalls. You know what I mean? We all go through things to get to the next level. Mm-hmm. You know, like I've talked about before on my podcast, you take all of these L's just to get that one W, and that one W is so much more meaningful than all the L's you took before. You know what I'm saying? So it's like just building every day and making yourself a better person. I think
it's true.
It is big,
and nobody sees the little things that go on behind scenes that you know what I'm saying,
pre-production, post-production.
Say I have a DJ gig, a big time DJ gig, and I'm out. You know what I'm saying? Everybody sees the final product of everybody dancing and having a good time and partying. They didn't see me hustling to get my boxes up the steps.
Facts.
You know what I mean? And
Facts.
when the lights went out in the place, you had to figure something out to get the generator in there. Shit
people don't see.
I'm telling you.
And you know, that actually just reminded me, so when I first heard of Mav, actually, it was back in the day, and it was on Jamn is when I heard of you.
Yeah.
But when I first met you was probably about 5 or 6 months ago. Shout out Marley.
Yeah,
met you through Marley Media.
All right.
And you guys were doing your little I guess the show that you're recording right now. It hasn't
Yeah.
dropped yet. It hasn't been released.
No, it's in production right now.
You guys
Mav
heard
City.
it here first. Also, Young World.
Yeah.
Oh, I wish I had that one.
You gotta add that.
I gotta add that for the next
Yeah.
one. But I remember, like, so I went with Marlon. I just wanted to see like what he was doing with you guys, the production of the show and all that. And I remember the cleanup after. It's like everybody had left, all the artists left, and it was like me, Marlon, you, and your fiance, and like we were just like cleaning up the lights, packing away the cases, carrying shit out to the car. It was mad heavy, like all stuff. And like I wasn't even there for the beginning when you guys set it up, so it's like that's what people don't know. You know,
if you about this life, you gotta be about.
You gotta be
this
about
life.
it,
Yeah,
day,
for real.
night.
Yeah.
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Eat it, breathe it, sleep it. You know what I mean?
Feel me?
Yeah.
And so, you know, like I said, the first time that I ever heard of Mav was when they would be talking about Mav on Jamn 94.5. And, you know, I'd be in my car going to school, listening to Mav and everyone else on the radio. And, you know, that to me was like huge. Like it's crazy because when I actually met you in person, I was like, is this the same Mav? Like, I didn't know if that was like you or not, because you really, I feel like, came up and you started doing so many other things after radio as well and like branched off from that,
for sure.
Which is super dope. But how did you even get your foot in the door in such a, you know, huge position? Well, I feel it, at least to me as a broadcaster, as a communications, it was huge. And like we said, back in the day, it's like, radio was everything. Like now, like, if you're on TV, yes. If you have a huge podcast, yes, or like whatever. But you know, radio is kind of a dying art form.
Yeah.
So,
it's tough. It's like it's kind of like a dinosaur. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, oh man, the big guys were kind of cool, but then
facts. And now we have podcasts. Here we are.
But when I started, radio was still like everything, you know. I think it might have been like the golden age of radio. Like me growing up, I remember listening to 88.9 to definitely Jammin', and just like never even thinking that I could, you know, potentially be on the radio, but like always just knowing like, wow, there's some cool stuff going on in the city that, you know, I would love to be a part of at some point. And then the opportunity came to so I went to BC. Boston College, and
shout out Boston College.
Yeah, big shout out to BC. And so I got involved in an internship. I applied over the summer, and I got it.
Wow!
And
so it was through internship.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
I was wondering how that. Okay, yeah.
Right.
That's dope.
So I just went in there with the mentality of like, I'm gonna just work,
and
outwork everybody who's like trying to, you know what I'm saying? Like,
so necessary.
Look a shot for that, because
your
boy was up at 4 a.m.
Yep.
You know, like every weekdays, like when the show was going on, I was remembering Pebbles.
Yeah, right. Because if radio starts at, let's say, 6 in the morning, it's like you gotta get there, you gotta be ready, you gotta wake up at 3, get there at 4, like
on a college schedule.
I'm getting
in from the party at 3.
That's
facts.
Like I had just enough time to change and make it there.
Exactly. So it's hard living sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Getting from BC to there, but thank God I was able to do that and form some really meaningful relationships with the people at the station, and kind of get my voice out there as an intern. I feel like they'd have these meetings with the PD and the whole show and stuff like that, and then I would actually have a seat at the table,
Wow.
and a chance to voice my opinion on
That's huge.
what I think would sound good on the radio, and they actually would use some of my ideas on air.
Yeah.
So that in itself was a pretty dope look, for a 18-year-old kid, you know what I'm saying?
Of course.
So then how I actually got on the radio was as time went on, remember Pebbles kind of developed more trust in me, because I was you gotta
prove yourself.
Yeah.
You're the new guy, so it's like, okay,
right.
Is he gonna live up to his expectation?
There you go. And I had a couple of I made a couple of parodies that like rang off for the station. They did really well, like sports related parodies.
Okay.
And so they're, as a result of that, I would be doing commercials and stuff as well. And then, their boss heard me on a couple of those commercials and
vibed with it.
Yeah, and he was like, "Hey, how would you, like the idea of having your own show?" And I was like, yes. And this was like right at, because I interned and then I stayed as an intern through the school year.
So this is immediately after college.
Right after college.
Like not a lot of people can say that, being communications major.
Yeah.
As a fellow communications major,
Yeah.
like I feel that.
I feel like I laid the groundwork in,
Yes.
you know what I'm saying?
100%.
With the internship. So
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
Get your homework in early.
Yeah, and
That's-
and it's like Mav said too, like proving yourself, like being consistent, like being there at 4 a.m. and showing like I want this, because
Yep.
you could have very easily got that internship and still like, lost
Pissed
it,
it
or
away. Like,
you could have been partying so much that you didn't make it to that morning show that one day, and then it's like, all right, bye Mav, we got another intern in the
That's
waiting.
real. That's real.
And and I feel like things in life, guys, they happen for a reason. Manifestation happens, and when you put that time and dedication in, like sometimes it's inevitable. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like for you, it was part of your path, because then it only pushed you further into like broadcasting or hosting or DJing or music too. Like, were you even doing music when you started the radio?
Well, I was always doing music.
Oh, so
yeah.
Is that the first love?
Well, we going way back.
Ooh.
My first love was basketball.
Oh,
like,
okay.
you know what I'm saying? I was a
Yes.
big
That's where the
basketball-
passion comes
You know
from.
what I'm saying? I'm probably the biggest Michael Jordan fan you'll ever meet. I promise you. But yeah,
fire.
like, that was like,
That's fire.
that is fire. So early on it was that. And then, as I, got to college, I kind of like transitioned. I was like, okay, so maybe I won't be a professional athlete. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's really think about what we want to do and what we're good at. What my talent set is, like what align that with what the world needs.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So that's kind of how I got, I went into BC undecided, and I came out as a communications major. So,
Wow.
I figure if you can talk to people, you can do anything.
Exactly.
Exactly. So yeah, comm major, and then built on that, and just got around some really like cool people who didn't even know they were probably mentors for me, but they were, just by being themselves.
Right.
Like, under people like Roy Barboza. I would ask, because I was working the morning show, I would ask sometimes if I could just stay and just listen to him mix. So meanwhile, like while he's mixing on the radio, he's doing his thing, he's getting busy, and I'm just just hearing everything that sounds good, and like
Taking mental notes.
just taking it in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But like, not everybody gets to be in that room like at that time. You know what I'm saying? So like,
Right.
you gotta take advantage of that, and like even some of the tricks, you know what I'm saying, they use back then, like I'm using right now.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And it's,
That's
yeah.
knowledge,
Facts.
knowledge that you can carry on to like future generations. Because like we said, radio's a dying art form. It's like people these days, like they might not ever get the chance to learn the shit that you got to learn in that studio. Like that's a
true.
blessing.
It is.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah.
Yo,
Facts.
shout out to all my OGs, like Ramiro, Pebbles. Like, these are true professionals
Facts.
in every sense of the word. Like, they get up every morning before everybody else, and make people laugh. Like, that's
Like,
a
what's
gift.
better than that? You're
Yeah.
already giving the world positivity. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I think that's a big thing too, because being an artist, it's like, what are you choosing to contribute? You know what I'm saying? And I feel like through having being on the radio, it gives you that sense of, like you said, like a power of having a voice. Like people don't understand how important it is to be able to have a voice, and how lucky like some people are to be able to spread a message or whatever. But also on the other end of radio, it's sometimes hard to have a voice, and it's hard to get the positive voices out there, because it could be a lot of mainstream that maybe is required for viewing or analytics or whatever it may be. But and I kind of mentioned this like off air, but it's like being a musician, like you're on both ends, you're on both aspects. You've been a host, you see how it is to like you probably seen people wanting to get their music on there and be like, yo, I'm sorry, like we just, you know, like you have to deny people or like whatever. Maybe not you personally, but I'm sure you've seen the process.
Dodged that bullet. I was
You see the process of like how the cuts go, like who makes it and who doesn't.
Yeah.
What, like, I feel like we have so many talented people in Boston, including yourself as an artist. You know, people who've come out like just, you know, a couple offhand like Bia or Millie's or like people like that, Joyner Lucas. But you don't hear about them until a certain point, until it's like, oh, they blow up. You know what I mean? It's like, why weren't they being played on the radio? Where is that? Like, why is it so difficult to be doing that?
I feel like
from an artist perspective.
Yeah, I feel like all these people that you've mentioned, like, they're my peers. Like I've been to South by Southwest when Bia wasn't Bia. You know what I'm saying? Bia was Bia. Like, you know what I'm saying? We knew, I knew Bia as like this sweet girl. You know what I'm saying? But like she didn't have a song with Nicki Minaj yet. You know what I'm saying? Like I think she was like in the early talks with Pharrell. You know what I'm saying? Like that kind of era. But like she was just super cool and like super talented. And I remember going to South by Southwest and us being on the same stage, like doing, you know what I'm saying? But like that's a while ago. I remember like this girl that I knew like telling me till the cows came home about Joyner. Like, you know what I'm saying? And like I remember hearing like one of his like mixtapes that she gave me and like being like, yo, this dude is nice. He is nice. But like as far as, you know, how that goes, like the disconnect between like that and like getting it straight on radio, like I mean, I think part of it is like relationships. Like, you know, somebody who's at like a radio station, they're probably apt to be like, oh, I don't know this dude. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just like, it's just as simple as that sometimes. Like, so getting out there and like meeting people and like shaking hands, and it goes a long way.
Networking is key.
Yeah. Just
always.
In terms of, you know, and I'm sure they've all had to do that, you know, to a certain degree. Like, just getting out there, like, doing these shows elsewhere, like South by Southwest. That's Texas. Like I've seen people everywhere. Like, you know what I'm saying, doing what they love, like music. And Boston isn't necessarily known for that. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you want a great hospital, come here. You know what I'm saying? Like,
if you have a sick child, come to Boston. But it's like, if you want to launch your music career, probably go to LA or New York or wherever.
I feel like it shouldn't be like that, but we are the ones who have to create that infrastructure.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? That's gonna make, you know, Boston that hub, or, you know what I'm saying, that epicenter for, you know, the music, the stuff that we love to do, the creative stuff. Yeah.
And it's like, you know, that reminds me of like podcasting, or even like Joe Budden. I remember listening to a Joe Budden podcast, and he was talking about like when he got into podcasting, it wasn't a thing. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like when you start a new form, when you're trying to make something out of nothing, like, how do you do that? Where do you make the guidelines? You have to create the guidelines. There's nothing, or like, if you want to go back to like when they're fucking marking up the world and putting the states in place, like where are they getting these state lines? Like somebody had to look at a map and be like, all right, we're cutting it down the middle right here. Like, you know what I mean?
It starts with the vision. You have to have the vision, and you have to have like tunnel vision.
Yeah.
So
not any vision, guys. Tunnel vision.
This is what I want. This is how we're going to execute it. And whoever doesn't agree with it, sorry for you. This is what it is.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. And so after you left radio, did you continue trying to be in radio on your own? Did you go into more music, or were you like, what were you doing?
I took it as a sign as like, look, this is like what I've been waiting for. Is because, like, you know, you work so hard, and like you know what I'm saying, you achieve a certain level of success, and it's like
you think that's the end all be all. You're like, this is just the start, yo.
Right,
like, what?
Right. There's so much more, like, you know what I'm saying, and like time. Don't ever take time for granted.
Facts.
You know, because you're in there, and you're doing what you're doing, and you're loving what you're doing, but like, what do you got to think about what the end goal is, what you really want out of life. And like this, granted, radio is a great opportunity to have a voice, and it's a great vehicle to, have your voice
Push
heard
it
and to have people care about what you have to say. I've always been of the school that's like art is like it. Like art is my jam. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like being able
Yes.
to create something out of nothing.
Right.
And
It's
know
like
what I'm
having
saying?
magic. You know what I'm
It
saying?
is.
It's like this magic thing, but
We are all
not
magic.
everyone has it.
Yeah.
Or they can't pull it out.
That's the thing. It's like you gotta recognize your inner magic and be able to, create and like get people on board with like your vision, like we just talked about. And
Right.
like I was fully in. Like at that point I was like, okay, all these song ideas, I'm gonna write them down. I'm gonna create the songs. I'm gonna create the whole total package, the vision that we were just talking about. And like that's what I've been on. Like, you know what I'm saying? This whole like journey. I'm just like, let's put this music out. Let's collaborate with the artists that we never had time to collaborate with.
Right.
Let's, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Let's put these visions out, the visuals, get the visuals right for everything, and just make movies. Like,
and we were saying too, like it's a fucking process. You know what I'm saying? Still trying to figure out without breaking the bank how you creating those visuals, how are you getting that dream to happen, that goal to happen. It's like starting a business. How do you start a business, right? You have to put money and time in.
Yep.
If you don't put money and time in, it's really hard to get that business off the ground, unless you have like, some good investment behind you.
Yeah.
But like money is part of it. You know what I'm saying? And resources and networking and knowing people and connections.
Yeah.
So that all plays into it too. Like there's just so much behind building and moving up to different things. And like we said, like the first music video Mav put out, what was it, Right Here?
Whoa.
Yes. Well, I'm gonna bring it up again, yo. I'm just gonna keep bringing it up because I want to aid you.
Yo.
But it was like, it's so funny. If it like check it out on YouTube, guys. Like if you look at it from like 13 years ago, and then you look at his most recent song. You want to shout out the song that you just dropped this week?
So we just dropped a brand new joint called Lifestyle. Me and an artist called Young Lama. He's got a crazy story, by the way. So if you get a chance, shout out my boy, my brother, Young Lama.
Yes, shout out Young Lama.
Yeah, he's like a refugee from Nepal. Like,
wow.
Crazy story. But yeah, like, and he's got bars. You know what I'm saying?
He does.
Yeah.
I really like that song. I feel like there was a depth behind it.
Definitely.
Like it was rap hip hoppy.
Yeah.
But like you guys still had lyrics, and I think that's the thing about me. Like, I'm an old soul in the young world. That's just how I identify.
Yeah.
So I grew up listening like old school hip hop, R&B, like Music Soul Child, like I don't know, Common, like random like old school artists. You feel me?
Common when you get a second.
Ooh, he's got a story about Common. Oh shit. I love Common. I have a little crush on him. I'm jealous of Tiffany Haddish. I'm just gonna say that. But is that your guy?
That's my dude.
Don't tell him. No, do tell him. Actually, do tell him.
He's about to know. Tiffany got hands. You might have to.
Yo, I go to boxing too, Mav. Watch out, right?
Okay.
But yeah, so it's like there's different, there's different spectrums to it. And I feel like there's certain hip hop and R&B and stuff nowadays where it's just like straight like trap rap and not really, there's no meaning behind the lyrics, I'm a lyricist type person. So like,
got you. You listening for that. Your ear is tuned in for that.
Yo, I'm going to whip something out. You said in the song, this was a quote from your song, the loudest are usually the brokest. And you also said, one life to listen, you might as well live it. Yeah. So I don't know, like that might have actually been from Right Here, but the first quote, the loudest are usually the brokest, like I took that in so many ways. I was like, yo, that could be like physical. Yeah. Like the loudest person in the room is literally physically the brokest, like in their pocket. And that's why they have to be so loud, because they need that self attention and whatever. And then like mentally or spiritually, like the loudest person, like somebody who's always like looking or wanting people to be looking at them, like inside soul wise, like they're not whole. You know what I'm saying? And I could be putting words in your mouth.
And that's the beautiful thing about music and art is open to interpretation. Like, you know what I'm saying? The way that you receive that, that blesses me. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Because like I when you're writing this, you're sitting down in my room writing, like you're thinking of like the ways that it's gonna be, interpreted, and like what it means for me, it's going to mean something entirely different to you because of your life experiences. But yeah, I love that that's, you know what I'm saying? I love that you got it that way because that was part of the way that it was meant to be. We put a lot into that song.
Yeah.
Like just.
And the visuals are fire, guys. So go check
Thank
it out
you.
if you haven't seen it. Dropped it on YouTube.
Yes.
Lifestyle.
Yeah.
Lifestyle. Such a vibe.
Thank you.
And you know, I'm sure there was so much post-production and time and effort and motivation that went into that as well.
Yeah.
Just like, you know, every project that, you know, we put out, if you guys don't see the work behind it, like at least show it love, at least share it, at least give some support to the people in Boston who are trying to put themselves out there and be artists, because you don't know what's going behind all the work that you're seeing pretty much.
It doesn't even have to be like a monetary thing. Like, a share.
A
goes
share
a long
means
way.
everything.
You know what I'm saying? That's your whole like network. So when you get a chance, drop a comment so that I know that you saw it.
Yes.
And then share it to
and
like
you know what?
whoever.
Also drop OSYW. You seen it on Also Young World. So
Boom.
Mav can, know where you're coming from.
Go. I like that.
Can I hear your story about Common?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh shit.
So senior year, I was on programming council at Boston
Don't tell
College.
me you met him.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna cry.
So we were the people who selected the acts that came to BC. So naturally, Common had his new album coming out. I was like, let's have Common. I'm the only person of color in the
He's like, let's bring some diversity in here.
In the student government. Yeah. So, but I suggested Common, and lo and behold, it happened. He was like, it was
Jealous.
a surprise concert in the back lot of Boston College. So like, everybody knew there was a surprise concert, but nobody knew who it was.
Okay.
So he like, everybody just descended on the back lot of Boston College, and there's like 5,000 people there. And then Common comes out, people go crazy.
Oh
they were
my
like, what?
gosh.
Yo, Common's out here?
It's so wild.
Yeah, I think it was Common and like Jurassic 5.
Yo.
Yeah, J5. So
How did you get them out here?
Yo, BC is like, they got money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
They'll invest.
Yeah, they will. To give the
like
students
we
a good
said,
time.
all about investment.
Facts. So the show is phenomenal. Common's like out there. Common's breakdancing. I don't know if you ever seen his live show, but he breakdances. Like he's a b-boy at heart.
Damn.
Yeah, man. Common is that guy. So he has this part in this show where he's like, I need one MC to come rock with me. And sure enough, musical. Let's go back a little bit.
Yeah.
I had a band in college called Versatile. I'm the lead singer. I'm the rapper. You know what I'm saying? So like my friends, and I'm in the front row because I'm in programming council. You know what I mean? So that's a classic example of being in the right place at the right time.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm in the front row. All my friends are pointing at me when Common says this. I get up on stage. I had my 16 ready.
Oh my gosh, he rocked the mic.
Hey. Can I get a shot for that?
Yo.
Can I get a
You can get 5 shots for that.
Let's go. Lick them shots off. Yes.
Hey.
Boom. But yeah, that was a classic example of being prepared for the moment.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? So
right.
I get up there in front of like not just my friends, like 5,000 people,
Holy
and I'm
shit.
going like bar for bar with Common. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I think he was expecting something light.
I can't believe you're saying this right now, yo. This is crazy.
I think he was expecting something light.
Yeah.
Because like usually when you do that, you're going to get somebody to give you I was ready.
It's like he's been prepared since he was born.
Yo, I had punchlines. Like everybody was like, oh, like, yo, it was mad. I don't even know, but I don't even think anybody has the tape of that. But there are pictures.
Yeah.
I definitely made the school
But
paper.
it lives in your mind. Like,
oh, yeah. It's
yo,
on repeat. It's
on repeat forever.
Yeah. And Common was like a hero to me at the time, and he still is. So, that was super dope. So, yeah.
Did he give you some, like, props
yeah,
for
yo,
that? I hope that.
Mad love.
Okay, good.
Mad love. It was a moment. It was a moment, and I felt that. Fast forward 5 years later, I'm working at the radio station. He comes to the radio station as a guest on my show.
360.
Yo, crazy.
Life is wild.
And there's a clip out there on YouTube you can see of Common freestyling, and he mentions 5 years ago we were at BC.
Stop!
I was like, oh.
He's like, I am melting. That's me.
He's
talking about me.
That was it.
He didn't say the Mav, but it's me. Yo, that's wild.
That was crazy. That was
fucking cheers to that.
cheers to that.
Champagne for that.
Yes, indeed. And big shout out to Common, man.
Huge shout out to Common.
Yeah.
Honestly, his music, like I said, lyrics get me. Like, he is a lyricist. I'm a poet as well, like a spoken word poet.
Yeah.
He does flowetry, is what I would like to call it. It is not just bars. Like, there is an actual scheme of rhyming and poetry, and like you can feel it, and it's like soul speak. You feel me? Like, I don't even know what to call it.
It's from like you said, like that old school of like, you could tell he grew up like really paying attention and studying people who could really rhyme. Yeah. And you know what I'm saying? And it shows in his cadence, his flow. It's like
facts.
It's like butter. It's great.
And I feel that with like a lot of artists. Like, I think musicians, like, you do reflect like what you've grown up on and what you've listened to, and like, you know, like who those people have been who have like inspired you. Like, if it wasn't for me listening to like Erykah Badu, Jill Scott, Common, like I said, like Music Soul Child, like people like that was shit that I was listening to and I was writing. You know what I'm saying? I was writing my poetry. I was letting things out. I was growing my mental. Like don't ever let your mental die. No. Don't ever let it like start to wither. You feel me?
To that point, these people are coming from an intellectual standpoint. Like, they're infusing knowledge and like life lessons into their rhymes and their songs and stuff like that. Sometimes I like listen to stuff that's out now. I'm like, yo, what are people getting from shake that ass, ho? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Well, we're getting an ignorant mindset is what we're getting.
What are people getting? What are you getting? Like, what are you taking away from that? What is helping your life? Like, man, that's kind of sad.
Yeah, it is. And that's where, you know, it's like there are many artists in this world. Not every artist that you hear on the radio is the best artist in the world. I would just like to point that out as well. Like, most of the best artists you've never even heard of in your life, the most talented people, the people that it really comes from, like the heart and soul. And there are a few people who make it, like Common, and then it's like, okay, somebody I can look up to.
And the artists will tell you that themselves. They're like, yo, in my hood, this dude's a good rap circles around me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But
like everyone has a mentor.
But then they're like, those are the people who actually like went with it full force. That I think that is like, that's part of the battle, right? Is like having that talent, that gift, and then combining that with the hustle and the drive. You know what I'm saying?
You have to be it all. You can't just be an artist. You know what I mean? Like,
path stepping is like, you know what I'm saying? Or you have to align yourself with the people who are going to put you in that position. And it doesn't always happen that way. Yeah. You know?
Yeah. And like, you know, I feel like the mind is the strongest muscle in the body. If you have to be the person telling you can keep doing this. You have to be the one motivating yourself and keeping yourself going and like chasing after that dream and wanting that. And, you know, in today's day and age, like there's a lot of shit in this world that's bad and a lot of like negative things or things that try to distract you or deter you from like your dreams, your goals, your motivation, maybe what your soul wants. You know what I'm saying? Like your body and your soul don't always match like the actions that you make, because sometimes we don't know how to interpret that because of all the influence around us. And you know, music is a huge influence, and I'm just kind of wondering, like, who influenced you? Who did you listen to?
Wow. Definitely like I said, strong Caribbean roots, so Bob Marley, like, you know what I'm saying, like that stuff that you could still listen to a Bob Marley song and get something out of it.
Facts.
He was, what did he die in the 70s or 80s? You know what I mean? And it's like, yo, that's stuff that you can infuse into your life now. Like, so that's early influences, and a lot of reggae artists, roots reggae artists, you know. But then, you know, I got older and like the, you know, dance hall was popping, like Shabba Ranks and them, like, you know what I'm saying? Like Super Cat. That was like heavy in like the 80s, 90s. But I think there's like a high point for you where you like love music probably more than you'll ever love it again. I feel like I go through different, like, just being in it so much. I kind of like recreate that. I'm able to recreate that. Not everybody has that. Like, there are certain people who like the music that they loved at 18 is like always going to be the music that they love. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think I peaked musically. Like, there's still and I make music, so
Exactly.
whatever.
Yeah.
But
It's
artists,
fluid. I feel like it's
It
like
is.
water. Just
yeah. Other artists that I love, Andre 3000 from Outkast, big influence. Pharrell, big influence. Snoop, big influence. Even Kanye, big influence.
Ooh, old school Kanye Spaceship. Oh, don't get me started.
Seriously.
Oh my
seriously.
gosh.
Like,
When I'm having a bad day, I throw Spaceship on in my car, like
Yeah.
high blast, and I'm like, yo,
yeah.
like this is what Kanye was supposed to be.
Yeah.
I mean, I appreciate his shit now, but
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
there's something about old school Kanye that gets me.
that album, and it's crazy because I mean, coming from where I'm, like my standpoint, college boy, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, you go back to, like different neighborhoods, or like, people know you as college boy or whatever, and it's like, wow, like I can relate to this.
Yeah.
Or you know what I'm saying? Like, like this message, like I can relate to that more so than like Jay-Z talking about like whatever he was, you know what I'm saying, like
Right.
doing back in the day, because like I didn't necessarily grow up to that, and like I had influences in my life that kept me away from that. So I relate more to a Kanye album than to a Blueprint.
I appreciate that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
so,
yeah.
yeah.
I feel that.
Yeah.
And and now you've been
Missy
in,
Elliott. Shout out to Missy Elliott.
Oh shit.
And Busta Rhymes. Sorry, I just like, I'm like thinking of artists now.
If you could spend a day with Missy Elliott or Busta Rhymes, who would you pick? Go.
Oh my God.
I said go, yo.
I know.
You're thinking too much. Say one.
It's gotta be Busta.
Yeah.
It's gotta be Busta.
Hey, he threw Missy under the bus. You heard that?
No, never that. That's
No, just
that's
playing,
the
I'm
queen.
just playing.
She's the best.
Yo,
But
her
Busta-
visual music, like her music videos, the visuals will never compare.
Both of them.
Both of-
because you think
You're right. You're right. 100%.
Think about some of those Busta
I just thought
videos.
about Ludacris too. I was also like, he just
Luda
popped
was
up in my
Luda
mind.
never gets enough credit though, because I think he was funny. He was like a comical rapper, and like people don't take him seriously
But that
enough
started
to be
an
mentioned.
era, I feel like, of like
Agreed.
mixing comedy and rap and
But
visual.
who's funny? Like, people aren't even funny now.
That's facts.
Like,
They
you know what I'm
think they're
saying?
funny.
Who's funny?
Yeah.
Like, Ludacris was funny.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I would laugh. Like, I would hear a bar, and I'd be like, yo.
Like he was
you
literally
really
like a
said that?
clown about shit.
Yeah, but that's why he doesn't get taken seriously enough. Like, to be mentioned in the same conversation with like Jay-Z, I think.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's psychological, but if you check his catalog, the bars are there.
Facts.
The bars are definitely there.
Definitely.
yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to Luda.
And shout out Missy.
Yeah, yo, Missy is, oh my God, creatively, that's like, and she doesn't get mentioned among the gods of this rap thing, and she should.
She definitely
Because
should.
she is like
She did get honored. I don't know. It was like a couple years
Rock
ago
and Roll
now.
Hall of Fame, I think.
Thank you. Yes. Yeah.
Huge.
Which was necessary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, some of those, like, the production level of like her videos, just go ahead, Missy.
Yeah. Right.
Go
You feel
ahead,
me?
Missy. Like,
Yeah.
just making a trash bag look fire.
Yo, crazy. She
Come on.
I keep thinking of this video. I don't know which song it was, but she's like a scarecrow in a field. I don't know. And
might
that
have
little
been-
girl, the little white girl with the pigtails, who like she was young and now she got older,
Yeah.
but she kept dancing in
I
her
know what you're
videos.
talking about.
They
I
were
know what
like
you're talking
going
about.
off in this
Yeah,
fucking like
yeah,
field,
yeah.
and Missy was a scarecrow. And I'm
Yeah.
like, yo, like you make a scarecrow look good. How the
Yeah.
fuck you do that, girl? Like just some crazy shit that you would never even think of, you know?
But Missy thought of it.
Yeah.
And that's why she's a genius.
And then it's like nowadays, I feel like visuals are just all the same. Like it's like, like every time I watch a music video, I know what to expect. And it's like if somebody catches me off guard,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh shit. Like
Right.
I'm surprised.
Whoa, this is different.
You have like a storyline to your music video.
Yeah.
Like not saying it's bad if you don't, but it's like, we don't have that too much anymore. So I'm just gonna leave it at that.
I'll also mention that, like, I think the amount of money that record labels are willing to pay for like visuals, it's not what it used to be. So
No.
we used to get these big budget music videos, and
Yeah.
it was like ridiculous. They're spending millions of dollars. You don't like get money from a music video.
No.
You know what I
of course
mean?
not.
Like that's just to like pique the people's interest, so they buy the actual music. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So as soon as companies
It's like a
realize that,
clickbait.
right, that's kind of when the budgets went down, and like some of the $1 million ideas, you're not able to bring that to fruition because they ain't got the $1 million budget for it. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So I think some of that kind of killed some of the creativity with the music videos. But,
Yeah, 100%. And and it's like being an artist too. You can't be a sheep. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you have to. It's so hard to make your own mark and to try to like create that own path. But it's like you have to if you want to break out. You know what I'm saying? Actually, not true, because there's a lot of people who are sheep and they still break out. But I feel like that's more viewing and like radio shit. Like, I don't know. It's just about the streams.
It's, and there's a lot of copycats.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Who just like hear a certain style and be like, oh,
Yeah.
I can do this. Like,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
All right.
Yeah. So let's everybody go with that same
Yeah.
like beat, but just put different lyrics on it. Like, nah.
Yeah.
But you are going to be performing soon. I'm actually going to be hosting a show that Mav's going to be performing at.
Let's get it.
It's called Maverik and Friends.
Yes.
Got a lot of artists, great artists in Boston, up and coming people who are going to be performing there. Shout out Joseph Joey James. Joey, who's putting on the whole production of the show, and his new management company, dedicated to winning.
Yeah, DTW.
DTW.
For life.
I love that.
Yeah.
Dedicated to winning.
Yeah.
Can you let the people know like what you're going to be doing there, or are you going to be dropping the new song live?
Definitely dropping the new record.
Is Lama going to be there? Is it
Young Lama's definitely going to be in the building.
Oh,
yeah.
snap.
Yeah.
Oh, snap.
Yeah.
You heard it here.
For sure. Yeah, we got to drop the new single.
Mav loves the drops.
I do. That's fire. But yeah, I'm very excited to, get, because truth be told, it's been like a while since we've actually been able to like pack a place
Come
and have like a
together.
big, you know what I'm saying, show like this because of COVID. But
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
I'm ready. We've been practicing. We've been, getting the timing right and everything. But yeah,
it's gonna be a good night.
It is.
Yeah.
You're gonna get, some of the new stuff, some of the past records that have been like smashes. I might infuse. I'm not gonna do right here.
I was gonna say,
'Cause
right here though.
No.
I was like, should I bring it up one more time?
No, but yeah, I'll dig into the archives. Maybe like 20.
You look like a baby in that video.
Yo, we could do. I'm gonna do Whoa though.
Okay.
Whoa was like that's like kind of where people started like knowing that I do
Recognizing.
music and
Yeah.
like what I'm saying, like really like respecting the craft of it. So yeah.
Dope. That's exciting. So, if you're hearing this before the show on the 16th, make sure that you go and you grab your tickets.
Yes.
And if you're hearing this after it, just know it was a fire show. And I'm sure you can go check out all the clips that we're going to be putting up because there's going to be lots of clips from it. But we are very excited about that. It's actually my first hosting show. So that's, one for the books.
Hey,
yeah, you
shout out to
already
Jesse
know.
Ellie on that.
Hey.
Yes.
So very excited about that.
Let them know.
Hey. And Mav, I'm just like, from everything that we've been talking about, like, and I get the sense of this from you, and I could be wrong. So if I'm wrong, please feel free to let me know, because I don't care when people tell me I'm wrong. But I get the sense that you do have like some type of an old soul. Maybe I'd be feeling that wrong, but like you're into like understanding, lyricism and understanding motivation, and understanding there's more to life than just working a 9 to 5, more to life than just, family and everything is great, but like some people literally their only goals are creating a family, getting married, having a 9 to 5, getting a house, and that's about all. And then when they have that, then what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? So, just wondering from your perspective, however you feel about this, however your soul may feel, what do you think it means to be an old soul in the young world? Even if you yourself aren't.
Yeah.
Just what do you think it means?
Wow. It just means, you're paying homage to, the ancestors, whoever came before you, and you recognize their efforts. You understand that you're it's not just you're standing on the shoulders of giants, of people who paved the way for you to be in the position to do what you can do today.
Hey.
Like I think about my parents, and like my dad was a pipe fitter for 25 years, like working, I remember being a kid and like, looking at his nails and being like, Dad, like why is there always stuff under your nails? And it's like, cause he's in them, you know what I'm saying? He's in them pipes. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, he's grinding every day to put me in a position to succeed in life, I think about my mom having like, she would work her job, and these are both Jamaican immigrants, you know, like coming to this country.
Wow, shout out to them. That's amazing.
Like not, you know, not knowing the lay of the land, coming here and like making their way. Like, I remember my mom used to work at this place, and then she also used to like clean the place afterwards. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, these are like stories that you like, you think about like after the fact, and you're like, wow, like that's a real thing. That's a story. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's somebody needs to know that, because it doesn't just happen. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it really takes a village. And I will always pay tribute to, like, you know, the people who came before me, and just respect that. But yeah, and now it's like, for me, just adapting. You either adapt or you get left behind, because like you said, it's a young world, and you know, now you have access to all these, you know, social media platforms and stuff like that. Facts. And it's like, it's not what it used to be. Like, imagine, so I think of Michael Jackson, right? Michael Jackson like created mass hysteria without social media. Right. You know what I mean? Like,
right, he like just, literally.
I'll never forget his like performance at the Super Bowl. He like gets up there, jumps down, and doesn't say anything for at least a minute or 2 minutes. Just silence, and people are losing their shit. Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying?
Just waiting for 1 ounce,
waiting for
anything from him.
Yeah, that to me is like greatness. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, people are just waiting with bated breath to like hear what you have to say. Like, you know, that's crazy to me. But like, imagine if he had, you know, if he had an Instagram, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that would be ringing off. Like, you know what I'm saying?
100%.
But yeah, now it's a matter of like using, you know, these tools, and there's not as much power in the hands of the gatekeepers as there used to be when it comes to like the music industry, right? So it used to be like, oh, like
you had to be signed to a label.
Yeah, like you want to do this, okay, you gotta give me a cut of this. You know what I'm saying? Like, now it's like, yo, if your shit's hot and people like it, they could skip the middleman. We could go straight to the source. Yeah. And you know what I'm saying? That
you can become your own marketing professional nowadays.
Boom. Yeah. That's what it is. So it's taking advantage of those, you know, things that are now in place, and like, and moving forward with that, like using those lessons that you learned from your OGs, your parents, and like, you know, those people who have influence to you to like, to make your mark and like push the culture forward.
100%. Like, knowledge is key. Knowledge is power. In knowledge and passing on, like you just said, like that creates future generations that understand that old school culture, or that old school mindset, or family values, or personal values, or how important mental health is. Do you know what I mean? The things that we don't like to necessarily speak out loud, but it's like, I'm sure your mom taught you to love yourself, even if she didn't say like, Mav, you need to love yourself. She taught you how to love yourself as a person, which is why when these opportunities arose, when you got that you know, internship, and when you left that internship, and whatever else came after that, even to now, like you know, being on the podcast, doing your next show, like whatever it may be, like your values gave you that motivation, I feel like, to keep going. And I think, you know, anybody listening in, like, not all of us get the chance to get those values from our parents. Not everybody has that stable home life, or such a beautiful story like your parents being able to like immigrate over here and start a life for themselves and create like a foundation for their child. Like, not everyone comes from that. And if you don't, guys, it's okay, because you can still build that within. And I think that's something huge that, like, you know, that we need to talk about. We need to be open about, because we all have an opportunity to be better every single day. Every single day. If you're better today than you were yesterday, you're winning.
That's a win.
You're winning. You know what I'm saying? Like, let your mind go to the positive aspect of things. Don't go to that negative. Like, keep going. Keep yourself motivated and moving forward. That's the only way that you make consistency into success, into your dreams. And then you can, you know, be here like Mav, and you can be, you know, you reflecting back on 13 years ago when you dropped your first music video. I'm gonna pull it up one more time. Oh, wow. Or, you know, whatever else that it was, your wins, your losses, you can look back and be like, okay, but it got me here. And feel good about it, even if not, you know, even if you didn't hit your goal or your dream. Guess what, guys? There's no end goal or no end dream.
Yo, you shoot for the stars, at least you'll touch the sky. That's what I say. You know?
Facts.
Oh, and one more shout out to education. Like education was like stressed in my household. Like that was gonna be our way out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Of like whatever struggle like my family was going through is like education. Like, I was raised to believe like, if you're smart, you can do anything, right? So it's about applied knowledge. So you know what I'm saying? It's one thing
Not
to be
learn knowledge, applied knowledge.
right. So it's one thing to be smart. It's another thing to be able to use that in the real world to achieve your dreams. And I think that's kind of why we're here today.
100%. And before we, ended off with you, Mav, just wondering for, 2022, big things coming, new year, always moving forward, like we said. Is there anything that you have coming up or going on that anyone should be looking out for? Or is it kind of, you got things in the works?
No, I'm working on a completely, like a movie right now, basically a visual album. Yeah, so the entire
Young
world.
Had to drop it.
Let's go. But yeah, it's called the Firebird Chronicles.
Wow.
Yeah. Ask me why.
Why is it called the Firebird Chronicles?
Because my first car was a Firebird.
Hey!
The car that I remember my dad having when I was a kid was a Firebird.
Wow.
So it's kind of like, bringing that, like, that nostalgia, you know what I'm saying? Like, full circle, like, life-wise, and just channeling, like, all the thoughts and emotions that were going on in that period of my time. And also, like, where I'm at now, like, as a result of all the things that I've gone through. Like, part of it is, like, even the fails, they help you to, like, to get wins eventually.
And I'm sorry, Mav, I didn't even ask you, do you have fails? Have you ever failed?
Oh, everybody's failed. Everybody's failed, but you fail forward.
Oh my gosh.
You know what I mean?
That was my favorite quote from this whole podcast. You fail forward.
Yeah.
Not fall forward.
No.
You fail forward.
Fail forward. Exactly.
100%.
Yeah. So, like, the wins start adding up, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, after you have to learn to humble yourself.
Facts.
And, like, everything's not gonna work out exactly the way you envision it, but, like, the stuff, the value of the information that you learned as a result of, you know what I'm saying, trying.
Yeah.
You gotta try, though.
Yeah.
I can't accept it. This is a Michael Jordan quote. I can't accept not trying. Like, I can accept failing. I can't accept not trying.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? What did my man Seal say? In a world full of eagles, only some want to fly.
Woo!
You know what I mean? That hit home for me. I was like, yo, I'm an eagle, bro.
Yo,
like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, like, let's go.
Yes,
And
yes.
I have trouble understanding why, some people just choose not to, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you have this idea, go for it.
Yeah.
Do it.
You know what
I
it
mean?
is? It's self-doubt. It's letting doubt get the best of you, even though you know that you're capable of doing it.
Right.
And it's like, I think we can both say that if we had let self-doubt get the best of us, we wouldn't be here talking today.
No.
It just wouldn't have happened. So,
Right.
If you're listening in and you're doubting yourself, guys, if you stop that doubt today, then today, next year, you're going to be in a whole nother place.
Facts.
A whole nother place.
Just watch the possibilities open. Your world will, like, open up. Like,
Yes.
confidence.
Yes.
Confidence is key. Confidence is key. You ever hear a rapper and it's like, yo, he's not even that good, but he's saying it with so much conviction. You're
So
like,
much
yo,
confidence.
I believe this dude.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, yo, you gotta hype yourself up in the mirror. You gotta talk to yourself like that.
Yeah.
And
Right.
eventually you start to believe it. And
Yep. And that's the strength of the mind. That's like we said, the mind is the strongest muscle because it can convince you either to break yourself or make yourself. Like it will push you forward, it will break you down.
Right.
And it's all up for you to decide, which is the most confusing and magical and best part about this
it's
life.
a beautiful thing. It's the beautiful struggle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, yo, you create a reality.
Yeah.
You really do.
100%.
Yeah.
And, talking about it, manifesting it, speaking into existence, like we said earlier, talking to yourself, it's all part of the process,
It's
guys.
a sign of intelligence, too, talking to yourself. So
You're not crazy.
Don't even trip. Yeah.
And when is this Firebird? Is there a certain date that you're dropping this, or is that kind of just to be decided?
2022.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
But I don't have
Can they
like, the
follow
date.
you anywhere to stay tuned about that?
Yes, definitely stay tuned to everything on my Instagram at Money Mav, MONEYMAV. That's one of the nicknames. Yes, I didn't give
We
it
got
to
Money
myself.
Mav, DJ Maverick,
Yeah,
Mav. I don't know. What
people
else you got?
give me these nicknames and they just stick, and I have no choice. But you know what I'm saying? It's just like whatever. I'll rock with
Is
it. 'Cause-
Maverick your real name?
No.
All right, I have to know. Where's Maverick come from?
So,
Long
Top
story
Gun.
short. Oh,
Top
really?
Gun, the movie Top Gun. Yeah, if you ever seen the Tom Cruise classic.
I was not expecting you to say that.
Yeah, me and my childhood best friend.
Yeah.
We used to like watch that movie all the time when I went over his house because at that point in time we wanted to be jet fighter pilots.
Of course.
You know, like,
who doesn't when they're
wouldn't?
little, right?
Who wouldn't?
Like,
We
shit.
kidding me? So yeah, we loved that movie, and I think his mom started calling us Maverick and Goose because we were just so like
That's
tight
mad
knit.
cute.
You know
Yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's just where
Yeah.
it originated.
Yep. See, stemming from the childhood, stemming from learned applied knowledge and memories, like,
All that.
and look at what it created, an amazing soul.
Hey.
Mav, so
Thank you.
shout out to you. Thank you for taking the time to come on to Also Young World podcast and share with us.
So glad to be here.
Dropping
Like,
gems.
Hey, this is lit. I like the show a lot.
Hey, I appreciate that. Is there anything that you want to say to the people before we sign off today?
Man, honestly, just life is beautiful. Like it really is. Like you just gotta, take the wins, take the losses, stay humble. Like really just love yourself.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Believe in yourself and be great.
Yes. Be great, guys. Take that applied knowledge. Take that learned knowledge. Take everything that you can, the wins, the losses, the negative, the positive, and apply it into your future goals. Apply it to what you want to become. Even if you don't believe it right now, it is possible. If I'm saying it, if Mav is saying it, if we're here talking about it, manifesting it, trying every day, struggling but trying, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You guys can do it too. Again, Mav, thank you so much. Shout
Yeah.
out to you. Big things
Thank
coming,
you.
guys. Make sure you follow him on Instagram. Check out his new song on YouTube and all the future music that's going to be coming. He's contributing so much to the Boston community. And like we said, being able to grow the Boston artists and musicians and talent that we have here and make it bigger and create a platform so people like me and Mav don't have to go to other places, to make something of ourselves. We can start it right here in Boston and rep our city.
Yeah.
Guys, so keep tuning in with me on Old Soul in the Young World. We got plenty guests coming on for you guys who are motivators, who are entrepreneurs, starting businesses, who are using their struggles to make something out of themselves even when they thought they couldn't, so make sure you tune in again with me next week here on Old Soul in a Young World with your host, Jesse Ellie.
Yeah, Jesse.
Yeah.
Aight.
Hey.
Hey.